Hello guys, it's Luke from the Free Almonds here. Welcome to All the Gear, No Idea, the show that I do on weekends where you control the topics, you control the questions, and you control where the show goes. I've got the computer, I've got the internet. If you've not subscribed already, please do. But let's get on with the show. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Free Almonds. It's been a while. Been a bit... there's not been much to talk about barring the Euros, and a lot of other channels and stuff get there, and do their thing. So I thought, it's been a while. Paul wasn't available today, so I thought I would do a little show for you guys if you are around. Just catch up on what's been, it has been a fantastic tournament. England are now into the semi-finals. Obviously, the 4 West Ham players went down to 1 yesterday, but most importantly, the one stayed that we all wanted to stay. Declan Rice with England has stayed in the tournament. The Czech Republic were pretty poor against Denmark yesterday. Sufal again, though, with an assist. Arguably one of the, the fullbacks of the tournament. Obviously the Italian guy who's just recently got injured. Obviously he was well up there. But Sufal's had an excellent tournament. But sadly his tournament is now over. Like I say, England yesterday, obviously, they needed to, we've all seen that, they're not going to concede a goal. They're very solid. They're very, organised, and, they all look out for each other, all know their job. But what we needed to see yesterday is exactly what we got. We needed to see that they can go and score goals and play a little bit of free play. I thought the way England kept possession and the way, they just, clever Barcelona teams and clever Spain teams, waste time with possession, keep possession, just keep ticking over. Eventually, it wears the opposition down. And that was good to see. Good to see Harry Kane now on 3 goals. Obviously, I believe top goal scorer is Ronaldo at the minute, and obviously Portugal gone out now on 5. Harry Kane's good enough, to score 3 goals in 2 games. He really is. If England are to beat Denmark and get to the final, he is good enough to get that many goals in that time. So he could finish top goal scorer. Declan Rice is growing with every game. He's really stepped up, and we'll probably talk a little bit about him later on. But he's stepped up. He's been magnificent, getting all the praise he deserves. And it is funny because from a neutral fans that have slated him and what do we actually get? What does he actually do? Why is he rated at 100 million? We've seen exactly why. The leadership qualities, the defensive style, just fantastic from Dex. Sterling, has really arrived again at this tournament. After sort of an average season. I won't say a poor season, an average season from Sterling. He's been magnificent. Great to see Sancho playing as well. Been wanting to see him play. Manchester United have bought a very, very special player there, a very special player. I will go through the questions in a minute, guys. So just keep them running through. Just keep as many as you can coming, and I'll go through every single one today because it's been a while since I've seen you guys, and there is plenty to talk about. In terms of the other side of the draw, obviously you had Spain, Switzerland. I can't say Spain impressed me really. I actually wanted Switzerland to go through in that game, not because of an easier route for England, but purely because of I just think Switzerland, have done really, really well. I think they're a decent little outfit. Got some good players like Shaqiri. He's a proper big game player, and he turns up and and arrives. Maybe not at the best of times at Liverpool, but he's certainly a decent player. But in terms of Spain, I wouldn't fear them at all. They can't defend the high ball. The ball goes up in the air. That Laporte and Torres, they don't really know what to do. Anything on the floor, they're quite good. But I say that Laporte on the turn, he's not exactly the most paciest defender in the world. So I wouldn't be fearing Spain. On the other hand, the other game, if you're talking about performance of the tournament so far, I think you can't look much further than Italy's performance against Belgium. They were fantastic. They really, really were. That Insigne, what a player. What a fantastic player. What a goal. Tournament favourites, Belgium. they look lost at times with Italy's, constant pressure, high pressing, the fluidity of, the fluidity and transition of their attack from defence. Is something, to envy. It really, really is. And I had a joke with Paul actually saying that, if Italy, let Mancini go and do his thing with Italy, I don't know, win something with them, World Cup, Euros, whatever, we get taken over. I'd definitely take Mancini, if he's going to play that style of football, beautiful football. Shame that fullback got injured for them. Arguably in there for team of the tournament. He was that Spalacci or Spalatico. I can't remember how to actually spell his name. They've got some real warriors in there. Cellini, Bonucci, Donnarumma. What a goalie. Some of the saves he pulled off in that game were magnificent. They're going to be tough. Listen, if England do get to the final and it's Italy, that is not going to be an easy game. That is going to be a real test, a real test, a fantastic potential game of football. That. Just before I go into the comments, in terms of the Denmark game, obviously now that will be in midweek, semi-final. It's a tough game again. I expect England to win. I don't expect it to be the 3-4-0s like last night. But I certainly expect England to win that game. What Denmark have on their side, as a romantic, let's pretend that England wasn't in it for a second. If you were a romantic, you would want Denmark to win this tournament now, because of the Christian Eriksen stuff and, just the way they've galvanised and, really played through in that first game. Denmark, Christian Eriksen obviously went off and then they lost that game. I believe it was to Belgium, was it? Did they lose to? And the fact that they've got themselves into the semi-final. Decent players in their team as well. Very, very good side. Very, very good side, Denmark. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. But, I would expect England to do them. Let's go into the comments, shall we? Okay. So, Inner Circle says, hello, mate. James Fever, legend. Nice to see you again, mate. Says Kufal's been great. Kufal needs to sign a new contract. Club being stingy as usual. So what I'll do is I'll interact with the questions live rather than coming back to them. So Soufal, apparently he's been disappointed with his contract offer. I can't imagine he's on a fortune either, I imagine, when he come over, they might put him on about 30 grand a week or something like that. He's shown he's a solid right back at European tournament, West Ham all the last season, a problem area we had for a very, very long time, the right back area as well. You only have to look at recent history of Antonio playing there. Frederick Zabaleta for that one season was fantastic. But, you look beyond that, we hadn't had a decent right back for years. So it was nice to actually have one. And yes, why not put him on, the 60s, 70s? He fully deserves it. And, I'm not against him having not signing it at all. I'm sure it will lead on to some more stuff about Rice later in terms of his contract. But we'll discuss that as and when it comes up. What we got here? James Fever says, I expected a good win yesterday, especially after Ukraine's 120 minutes versus Sweden. All the injuries. Now Denmark are a different team, but it's going to be a good game. 100% agreement. Yeah, with the result yesterday, I don't know whether you guys got it. I got a £5 free bet from Bet365, and that went straight on to. And I actually predicted. Let me show you. I think I've still got the photo. Have I still got it? I don't think I have, which is unfortunate. Have I got it? Yes, I have. There we go. Yep. So that was my bet yesterday. England to win 4-0. Did come in. Nice little £100 unexpected, which is lovely. Mitchell says, asked JP yesterday, so I'll ask you, has the Euros been positive for West Ham? Yarmolenko might command a decent fee. That's a fantastic point, mate. Obviously, Yarmolenko's been fantastic. He did have a good game yesterday as well, I thought, in a poor, fairly poor performance from Ukraine. He's been good. He scored a couple of good goals, hasn't he? Someone will see that left foot in a slower league, maybe the Dutch league or even Serie A. Serie A is a slightly slower league as well. He would be excellent. If he's put in a team where he hasn't got to defend, that left foot is an absolute wand. So yeah, why not? That might have just put his feet up a little bit. And Declan Rice has solidified himself as England's most important player. Yeah, him, Phillips. I think Harry Maguire's been excellent as well since he's come back in. My only fear with the Rice thing is that if England do go on to win it, he might enjoy it. You know, he might enjoy that taste of winning things. You know, and that big game affair and that big game moments that you know, may see him want to go sooner than we thought. I don't think he will. I do think he's got one more year. And, you know, the picture yesterday, I think, you know, players do things on purpose, Mitchell. They do. And the fact, you know, that he did that to the camera yesterday, knowing that, you know, press would take a picture of him doing that, I think that's a subtle sign. You know, obviously all the contract stuff last week was, you know, a bit frustrating. And listen, I've got nothing against Declan, you know, not wanting to sign a contract. You know, there's nothing at the moment, and this is nothing against Moyes or the backroom team or the players. There's nothing from David Sullivan that, you know, shows ambition and shows, you know, that wanting to get to that elusive next level. You know, we've qualified for Europa League this year. Where's that ambition to go again? It feels very, and this is another reason why I haven't done. You know, I was doing a video a day or a video every other day, you know, getting some videos out there. But the reason I haven't done it for, you know, like 2 weeks or so is because I felt a bit deflated with West Ham at the moment. I have to agree. And it's so sad because obviously after such a fantastic season, there's all that positivity. You know, the fixtures come out, you feel good. You're looking forward to who we're going to sign. And in listen, I understand that Euros is going on. I do. And it is a factor. But I do get really, really deflated. And it's sort of, I'm going to put this question up. I'll come back to any of them because it sort of links into what I'm going to talk about here. Question for you, Luke. Does it concern you that the club have not made any real bids or loans for players yet? And this is exactly it, James, what I'm going on to here. What are we saying to Declan? You know, right, if he's waiting for Jesse Lingard, fair enough, right? Okay, we go and get him, we get that done. Why has there no bids been put in for the strikers? Why has Patterson Daka gone to Leicester? Okay, Leicester are a better club than us, but why was we not in the mix for that? If Patterson Daka ain't done, why aren't we going for the next target straight away? It's just a constant, slow moving. Let's wait for the season tickets to get sold. Let's sell every shirt. Yeah, for me, Declan, you know, Declan has to be put on that £150,000 a week mark. I don't think money is his thing, though. I really don't. And some of the rumours are that actually one of the main reasons he's not signing is because, you know, he's not confident in terms of the transfer activity and in terms of the ambition of the club, which is fair enough. Listen, it's going to hurt when he goes. I don't think he stays beyond next season. I think he gives us 1 year. To play for us in Europe, and the fact that it's Mark Noble's last season as well, I don't think he would leave. And you know, a season in Europe, showing how good he is in Europa League football, adds to his value as well. You know, shows that he'll be able to do it. You know, Thursday, Sunday for a few games, and hopefully we progress quite far in that. But I think barring us getting back in the Europa League, which is a tough ask, I think Dex will be off next year. And then it is that flip side of do we pay Declan Rice 150 grand a week as a hold, basically like a holding fee, just to hold him for another year when really he probably will go next summer. You know, you've got a World Cup in there at some point. I think it's November, December next year. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It is a really interesting one. But yeah, the fact that we're not bidding for players, mate, is like I say, is a lot of the reason why I haven't been doing many videos recently. I just feel a bit deflated. I've been enjoying the Euros and trying to come away from West Ham until we have to deal with that stress again in a few weeks' time when all the season kicks off again. Obviously, the players are back now from pre-season, which is good to see. You know, Felipe Anderson was there. Again, how long he's going to be there for, who knows. Bowen there, Antonio was there. Nice to see him, looking good, looking fit. But yeah, some new faces do need to come in the door. This elusive shirt that some people have seen and other people haven't seen. I'm sure they like launching a kit with a new player, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anytime soon. So yeah, but at the moment it's just a little bit flat and a little bit deflating West Ham in a minute. But we'll go on Google and have a look at some of the news in a minute. Sad and glad they went out. Thomas needs a rest. Certainly does. You've been fantastic as well. Question. Wow, nice troll in the room. Let's just block this geezer because just an absolute sad life. So right, let's have a look at some of the news today. It's not going to be the longest show in the world, guys, because like I say, there's not much West Ham stuff. So if we go through the Google stuff, for example, well, here's another one. Look, God, there's some sad people on a Sunday. Go out and get yourself a girlfriend, boys. There's a lot more fun activities to have than sitting on some random YouTube channel. Right, club told West Ham man could be open to a move to leave in London. Obviously, that's Declan Rice. This one here, club are praying for a swoop signing could be handed to West Ham easily. So let's see what this one's about. So this one says Barcelona praying Premier League. Oh, this poxy thing. Praying Premier League clubs will come in this summer and sign some of their players to give Ronald Koeman some money. So obviously Barcelona looking to sell some players. Doesn't really give an exact name. Oh, Martin Braithwaite, there we go. Martin Braithwaite's another one that we've been heavily linked with. God, wow, these people are very, very sad people. Very, very sad people, these people. And you just get blocked and you can go and make another account instead of going to find a girlfriend. Has Declan Rice sent a message? Obviously, that's the video about... that was the picture of him doing the crossed hammers. West Ham must act fast if they want to sign Anton Barak. Really good player. I've been really impressed with him for the Czech Republic. Central attacking midfielder. Really strong, dominant player. I've been really, really impressed with him for the Czech team. And that's Šičík as well. What a player he has been. Fantastic player. Would love to have him in our team as well. What else we got? West Ham linked with Nico Milakovic for 40 million. Obviously, that price has gone down drastically. Was around the sort of 30 million mark at the beginning of the window. Apart from that, not much to talk about, to be honest with you. Howdy, Luke. If Declan stays for another year, then he'll leave when Noble leaves. So we lose two captains once. Yeah, it's a valid point, mate. This is why I think that Milakovic, or I can't pronounce the name, Milahoy, let's call him Milakovic, is trying to be bought in because he will obviously be Noble's replacement, and then it'll be looking at someone who will replace Dex. And I think they initially thought that might be Alex Krell, but he's not at best of tournaments. So whether we, look at that again, who knows? But yeah, it's definitely concerning, that you could lose potentially two centre midfield. And who's to say, that Souček goes and has another fantastic season, and then he starts getting looked at by Bayern Munich. There were rumours that Bayern Munich were looking at him, and who wouldn't want, a player that can score 10 goals a season in the Premier League? It's it's something that is sought after, isn't it? Pretty sure Moyes always planned to do business after the Euros, as he's been working for UEFA. Yeah, obviously that's true, Matt, as well. Obviously he's been doing his bits in the Euros. Obviously he's back now because we all see him at the pre-season training. So yeah, hopefully now, you know, we really got to focus and, you know, get stuff done. It's just a shame because I hate it that, you know, you want a couple of new signings in there, because obviously our first pre-season game, I believe, is on Friday. I think it's Dundee. You know, you want to get that chance to blood some of these youngsters, not youngsters, but, you know, these new players in, which would be fantastic. There's some real saddos in the chat today, guys. Just putting it out there for you. I've had to block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. There's some really sad people out there on this Sunday. Any questions, guys? If you want to ask some questions, get them in. We'll have a little chat. We'll talk for a little bit longer. I ain't going to talk for too long. Just to go through a few things. Yeah, I'll try and do some videos as and when content, you know, provides itself. You know, when the new kits come out, we'll have a little talk about them. If we do sign, we will sign a player, but when we sign a player, it'll be nice to do that. You know, I can't wait to start talking about players. I can't wait for the season to start again. But yeah, we just enjoy the Euros whilst we're there. Afternoon, Luke. I think we could be in trouble if GSB don't stop messing around and renewing. Sorry, mate. I'm blocking the chat there. I do apologise. Afternoon, Luke. I think we could be in trouble if GSB don't stop messing around with renewing controls. I agree, mate. You know, the micromanaging has to stop. You know, if you want to push on and be progressive as a football club, you know, you have to have all these departments now. You have to have these what they're called. You have to have the scouting system, the director of football, the you know, the guy who does the transfers, and trusting your staff. You know, a good staff and a good team has trust. You know, not constantly being micromanaged by top level people, and that's something, you know, that needs to be done. Hello, mate. Late to the party. My bad. Sorry. I need to learn how to put a chat monitor in. We've never had this before, actually. We've never had, you know, trolls like this. So the fact that we've had trolls today, I suppose, is a credit to the channel. You know, the fact that someone wants to come and be a troll on the channel. Who are these saddos? I don't know, mate. And sorry, contracts. And afternoon from Dan. Yeah, with the contracts, mate. So I read your thing slightly wrong there, but yeah, with the contracts, they need to get sorted out ASAP. You know, just to calm everything down. Last thing you want is that you know, being in the back of players' head. Listen, I think Declan's a lot bigger character to not let a contract issue, you know, get him down or affect his game. It clearly isn't affecting his England performances. You know, there's no pressure from us, really. All it does is protect our asset. But as I say, let's be honest here. I don't think Deck stays beyond this year anyway. I think he, unless something incredible happens, we got Champions League, or, you know, we qualify for Europa League again, which would be an achievement. Then yeah, I don't think he stays beyond this year. It's one of them as well, you know, if we won the FA, say for example, won the FA Cup or won the League Cup, again, dream world, I don't think that would be enough to keep him either. I think that would even be more so a way of him, you know, wanting to leave, not wanting to leave, but leaving if an offer got accepted, because that would be his great way of leaving West Ham. You know, oh yeah, I've won a cup with you guys. There you go. I've given my all. I've delivered this for you. Now I'm going to go. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Has Moyes signed a new deal? I believe he did, mate. I believe he did about 3-4 weeks ago. I think it was signed that 4-year deal. I do believe that did get officially announced, mate. So yeah, that at least that one's protected. I know you have discussed this before, but should we give Anderson one more go? I want to give him a chance, to be honest. Not really, mate. I liked him, you know, and I was giving him a lot of time when he started. I really liked him his first year, and I was really patient with him that second year. I was at the Bournemouth game, actually, when he scored that goal. I believe we won 4-0 that day. There's a fantastic player in there, but I don't think he's in the Moyes mould, should I say. I don't think he's good enough. for Premier League. I think he's a bit lightweight. He'd be fantastic in Leeds or somewhere like that, you know, where he hasn't got to do the defensive shift and he can just start front and make mistakes and stuff. But yeah, not for me, mate. And I think it's a shame that, you know, it looks like he's going to go for about 9 million, I think I read, which is, you know, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, not for me, mate, to be honest with you. I don't know what other guys in the chat think. From what I've read, Declan wants Champions League next season. I think he stays next year, mate. I genuinely do. Unless, and don't get me wrong, an astronomical offer could come in because of how good he's been in this Euros. I don't think he goes this year. I don't think Mark Noble would let him go. And I don't think GSB... You know, GSB have been let off for a year and a half in terms of we've not been in the stadium, you know, to pile that pressure on them, you know, to sign players and do the right thing. You know, that they've been let off and, you know, the steam has cooled a little bit. You know, there's been a lot of ceasefire in terms of, you know, us putting pressure on them. We all go back in that stadium, August, September, whatever it is, whenever 60,000 are allowed back in. And, you know, the results don't start going our way, or, you know, there's been a lack of investment. And, you know, let's say, for example, Rice was sold and we didn't invest the money wisely. Then all of a sudden that heat gets turned on again. And that is the last thing they would want. The last thing that GSB want now is that heat to come again from Hammers United and the marches start again. I believe the marches will start again anyway, you know, because, and I think they should, you know, it's their whole mantra is support the team, not the regime. You know, we got behind the team and we will get behind them again, but we need to, you know, just try to get this poison out of our clubs. You know, when you look at Leicester, I always say Leicester because Leicester are the owners, you know, the owners of owners. Just that ambition, just go and do something, go and show a bit of balls, you know, go and do this. Arrival says, reader trolls, it has been happening a lot this week with Stell at West Ham's, Irons United, jealousy around our performances last year. They're just saddos, mate. You know what I mean? They're probably bored of playing World of Warcraft or, you know, watching their anime, and they thought they'd come on a West Ham live chat and make at least 10 accounts I've blocked today because they think it's funny to type rude language and stuff, you know. It's just saddos, you know. Anderson does not fit the Moyes work ethic. I totally agree. Isn't it funny Sancho got a game last night after he signed for Man United? Yeah, it is. He's a top player, though. Wonderful feet. Feet are fantastic. And as, yeah, I will go back to your comment, Dan. Sancho justified his selection. Yeah, you know, he's a top player. He can open a defence up. You know, Man United are going to be a real force next year. They really, really are. It's going to be an interesting title next year. I'm waiting for Chelsea to make their move, though, as well. You know, there's strong rumours of Haaland to Chelsea. And Chelsea have been quietly not doing anything. And I'm waiting for, you know, that big boom, that move, you know. And in terms of Man City, is it going to be Grealish? Is it going to be Kane? Or is it going to be both? You know, one of those, the first huge move that's gone through is Sancho. What's next? You know, how does Man City respond? Liverpool as well. Liverpool have not, you know, spent a massive money. Yeah. And it's how these teams respond. And then this could, you know, trigger down to other transfers and stuff. Like, for example, you know, the Sancho going there, will that trigger the move of Lingard to West Ham? Get Anderson as far away as possible. What has he done to warrant a chance? Yeah, 100% with you, mate. Like I said, I did like him as a player. But yeah, he's not done anything for Porto. Didn't do anything that second year at West Ham. So yeah, I agree with you, mate. Anderson is lazy. He's obviously lazy. He only got a couple of starts for Porto. Real shame because there is skill there. Yeah, no, there is, mate. There is skill there. But yeah, not for me. Not for me at West Ham. I think he's done. To be honest with you, mate. How can people say Rice isn't worth 100 million when Sancho cost 75 million and couldn't get in the England team, where Dec is on one of the first on the team sheet? Yeah. With Declan as well, obviously proves it week in, week out in the Premier League as well. So, it's not like you're gambling on whether they'll fit in the Premier League. No, I think Sancho will. I think he would adapt to the Premier League and be fantastic. But with Declan, you've seen it. We've seen him do it every week for West Ham. We've seen him do it for England now. So, yeah, for anyone can say he's not worth, in the higher regions of 85 million plus, it is beyond me, because you're getting a 22, 23-year-old player, in my opinion, future England captain, future club captain to wherever team he went to. If any of them top four teams, City, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, any of them, he would be their club captain within 2 years, I think, of being in their team. He's just, he just has got that about him. He's just a natural leader. Touch wood so far, not a player that gets injured often as well, So yeah, why would you not? It's a fantastic investment. Even at 100 million, it would be a fantastic investment. Will Moyes play a B side now in the League Cup, given the Europa games? Yeah, I reckon so, mate. And that's the whole point of the great thing about getting into Europe is, it will give a chance for, your Ashbys, your Alessis, your Baptistes, a couple of the other young guys that come in, Alves, a chance to maybe get a couple of games in the League Cup if they can get through. So yeah, that I would like to see that, mate. And and like you say, in terms of the B team, gives those fringe players, keeps their fitness levels up, and lets them, get into the team if they can. A question I ask you guys here, in terms of the Europa League and the league, do you think we should go all out for Europa League? It's a competition that can be won. It's a competition that West Ham can win if they really wanted to. Would you take 12th, 13th in the league, and we really, really go for it? Let our league form suffer a little bit in terms of really, really going for it in the Europa League. Let me know what you guys think on that. It'd be nice to have a little discussion on that. Do you think Lingard will come if Dec goes the other way? Maybe, mate. I really don't think he's going this year, though. I really don't. I think he's waiting for the Chelsea move, to be honest with you. I think he wants that Chelsea move. Whether Chelsea would, sanction the deal, loads of rumours that a lot of the reason why Frank got sacked was because he wanted Dex, and, they wouldn't sanction the deal of bringing back a youth player because it looked embarrassing. I don't know. I really don't know. Fernandinho's only got one more year as well. So could he go Manchester City in a year's time? Who knows? I think that Phillips will be highly looked at now as well. Another, fairly young player. I think he's 24, 25. He will definitely be getting more admirers. So maybe they'll look at him as a different option than Rice. So it's interesting dynamic there. So what else we got here? Everton and Arsenal are set to improve again this season. Top 8 will be, and there's teams that you forget about. Everton and Arsenal, dirty Spurs as well, obviously. New manager with Nuno. They'll be playing a different style of football. What will he do? How much money has he been promised? And then you've got Wolves. Will Wolves, come back better than what they were last year? Villa as well. You're forgetting to mention Villa in there as well. Who are recruiting really, really well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And then, like I say, that's where I ask you the question: is it worth really putting all our eggs in basket for Europa League and just go for that opportunity to do it? And Leeds and Villa could be up there too. Yeah, definitely. And Leeds. Forgot about Leeds. GSB always said they want to take West Ham to the next level. However, being stingy over players' wages hardly demonstrates a next level club. Great show as always, Luke. Thank you, Pete. Yeah, 100% agree with everything you said there, mate. You have to build on your league position If you fall off a cliff this season, people will just call it a fluke, though, even though it wasn't. Another couple of European finishes and West Ham could become a European club. Yeah, and I think it's all about just getting us in a good position for when we do eventually get taken over, which, loads of people keep saying 2023 is when they can do it without paying the Newham premium. So hopefully, mate, yeah, we can do both, in my opinion. Although I know Hammers fan love a day out, so I know you lot love the cup so much. Yeah, and you know what I mean? I think it was Gonzo that did the video about Ricey, in terms of, like winning the FA Cup or winning Europa League or whatever. Maybe winning Europa League would keep him because that would mean a year in the Champions League. But, a top 6 finish or an FA Cup or a League Cup probably won't be enough to keep Rice, because Rice's ambition is beyond that. He wants to be going to win Premier League titles and Champions League titles. So can West Ham ever get to that level? One day, maybe, with a good takeover. But they certainly won't get there with GSB in this. And I don't know whether Declan Rice has the patience or the belief in the project that they're trying to portray to stay that long. And that's my big fear. I think everyone is going to be disappointed when the transfer window closes. We don't have the money people think we do. Yeah, mate. And it goes back to that argument, that great argument. I won't call it an argument. I call it a great debate that Nicky and Ryan had on West Ham Fan TV a couple of weeks back. Both of them massively justified in their points. There's nothing we can do about January now, and there's nothing we can do until it's happened. But then in the same respect, with Nicky's comments, which I totally agree with, how many years can we keep seeing this, keep seeing this constant? We tried, selling players late and then not investing, not really giving it a good go. It's incredibly frustrating as a West Ham fan to have such a great season, and some really good players and a base of a really fantastic team there. And it just not be built upon. My fear as well is the age of some of these players as well. A good club would be a well-run club would be looking at West Ham now, for example, like the management team, football directors. We're going, right, okay. Well, Bonner's 32, 33. Cresswell's 31. I think Dawson's 30, 31. And then you've got Antonio's 30, 31. Injury prone. Noble retires at the end of this year. That's 6, right? 6, okay. And then in a couple of years or a year or so, a lot of them players may be the second part players. And by then we wouldn't have bought the players or developed the right players in those positions to have a smooth transition of team. And that is my fear. Premiership should always be a priority. And it's a big if. We are at quarter-final or semi-final stage in Europa. We should look at priorities and possibly resting key players in the Premier League. If we strengthen the areas, we need a mixture of youth. We could possibly do with both, definitely. We need some pace as well. Would you sell Benrahma to raise funds for a striker? No, I wouldn't, mate. I'll be honest with you. I'm willing to give the guy time. He started, scored his goal, didn't he, in the end? He got a few assists. We need more from him. We definitely need more. And there's more in there as a player. But yeah, 100%. We need to, give him another year, see what he can do. He could be fantastic in Europe, slightly, hopefully weaker defences. Yeah, I want to see more of him. I do. I want to see more. Fabianski as well, mate. Another one I forgot there. Fabianski's 35, and then all of a sudden how can we all see it? We can all see, that these players, Father Time is catching up with all these players. Yet they can't. Listen, I'm not saying that Moyes can't. I imagine Moyes can, and Stuart Pearce and all that. All them guys can see it. If Moyes is going to be there 3 to 4 years, he can see that, and he's a very clever guy who would want that smooth transition of players and start developing. He seems very good at that. but it doesn't seem like he's getting the backing to do that, and that's where the frustration lies there. You know, Fab's a great goalie, but he's 35 now. You know, and he does get injuries now, doesn't he? To be fair to him, yeah. Another guy that we haven't talked much about today actually is Pablo Fornals as well. You know, a guy that I think if that guy can, you know, get 10 goals a season into his game, you know, really work on that finishing, he could be top player for us next year as well. He was fantastic last year. You know, some you know can get frustrated with him because he does miss big chances, and I think that's what people remember in their mind. You know, he misses big chances where he'll blast it over the bar, or you know, just put it wide, a decent header or whatever. But listen, if that guy gets the composure right, he can be a true asset for West Ham. In Europe, I think he's going to really shine in Europe for Nails next year. You know, one of my favourite players, and I will sit here and say I think he was fantastic last year. And you look back at the highlights of West Ham last year, and some of the passing and the turning from Fornals that, you know, led to some of the goals last year. If you've not looked back on the season, West Ham did post a video a few weeks back, you know, all the goals and stuff. Look at how many Fornals is involved in. He's absolute fantastic player. We are supposed to be getting a 240 million win through TV rights and getting Europa League, according to an analyst. I hope so, mate. But again, then there was that weird comment from the Juventus chairman about West Ham potentially could go into, you know, I can't remember what the word was, a real posh word, where basically like go bankrupt and you have to sell your assets. It's a difficult one, that, because aren't we only in debt to them, like to Gold and Sullivan? So the only reason West Ham are in debt is because they're in debt to themselves. We've lent the money off the chairman. So unless David Gold, listen, I wouldn't put it past them. Unless David Gold and David Sullivan want to go and sell and liquidate the assets so that all their debt's paid, I don't have much belief in the story the Juventus chairman told us. Old players have no resale value, making it hard to make money like Leicester do. Fornals needs to get more respect. He was unbelievable last season. Yeah, and listen, not just I'm talking about his attacking play. Defensively, he's an animal, and you know we all see that. Most of us see that video of him playing for Spain under 23s, or you know, watch that tournament before we signed him. And you know, he was a dynamic winger who was putting balls in, and you know, not really doing the, you know, back off and that. He was fantastic. You know, what a player. What a player. And he's developed into a Premier League. He's got stronger, etc. Yes, Fornals was a beast. And then a nice little troll in there talking about Aston Villa. You can get blocked as well, mate. I'm not going to go much longer, guys. So, chance, if you got any questions, chuck it in there. It's been nice to be back, actually. Nice to talk to you guys, as it always is. Do love talking to you guys. If you've got any questions, chuck them in quickly. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up there, I think. And we will be back next week, me and Paul. Hopefully, I can do some videos about the kits, and who knows, maybe we'll sign a plan next week. Who knows? Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there because no questions are coming in, which is fine. Apologies, guys, for all the trolls that were in the chat today. Obviously, I've got no control over that. But it does upset the flow of the thing, you know, when there's these saddos that are in the chat. He leaves everything on the pitch. He assist run pillars to post. What's for lunch, mate? I've been on a bit of a diet, to be honest with you, because I've been working out, just trying to get a little bit fitter and stuff. I've been on a cereal diet where I've been eating cereal for lunch. Pretty boring, but yeah, I've been eating cereal for breakfast and dinner, and then I have like a sort of little picky lunch, just to try and get a little bit, you know, at 36, you know, famous what's his name? Ricky Gervais line, 20s and up to 35 your eating years, and then all of a sudden it catches up with you and you have to, you know, watch your eating a little bit. So yeah, a soft lunch for me. Yeah, thank you guys so much for I'm surprised Funnels, yeah, he was in the backup, weren't he? Maybe he'll have a big part to play in a couple of years' time. Cheers, Luke, hit the like button. Yep, thank you, Duncan, for that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Great to be back. Apologies that the content has been a little bit you know, not a lot been going out for a while, but purely is because I've, you know, a little bit down in terms of the West Ham stuff. And, you know, the Euros, just been enjoying the Euros, stuff like that. And until the real big news comes out there, you know, I didn't want to just make videos for the sake of making videos. Fornals was on the reserve list. He certainly was. Aston Villa got no cans. Up your proteins and cut the carbs, lift some weights. I've been doing the resistance bands, actually. I don't know whether any of you guys have ever had them there. Tell you what, when you're doing properly, Jesus Christ, they really, really hurt. They do when you're doing properly. Good chat. Yep, certainly has been a good chat, guys. Until next time, come on your irons, keep believing. Listen, hopefully bringing some good news soon in terms of, you know, new players and, you know, just a bit of excitement around the club again. Until next time, let's go.